seen that Twitter conversation that's been going on this week about how people have been buying fake products. Like, I don't know, like, it's driving me wild. Like, people have been buying the fake brand of Amoy products, right? And the soy sauce, oyster sauce, fish sauce, sesame oil, light soy sauce, dark soy sauce. If you know all of the sauces that we use for cooking, the original Amoy product is AMOY. But the one we have been buying, some come with a Q, some come with an S, some come with an apostrophe C, an apostrophe S. My own is just that let the product that you're selling for us, let it not be substandard or harmful to our health. Like, that's my own. Like, if you want to change the brand name, don't just cut it so hard that we now have to deal with fake products. Like, kidney, something that will buy with money that is not cheap. And people have been checking their own products since yesterday, and a lot of them has been fake. My sister went to go and check all of the sauces she bought, and all of them are fake. We're going to go and check my own together because I've not even checked it. I've just been trying to escape checking it in because I'm like, what if? Well, let's go and check it together. No light, so we're going to have to use flashlight and ignore my busy fridge. So this is sweet chili sauce. This is, oh my god, mine has an S. Like, what in the fucking hell? Oh Lord have mercy. Oh wow, what is this now? Oh please, this one is what? This one is just, let me see, this one is Vin Real light soy sauce. So I don't even know what brand that one is for a start. This one is dark soy sauce. It's Ching's Secret. So this doesn't even come into the Amoy family. Even expired, and I did not know it has expired like since. This is my sesame oil. Let's see. God, this one is Amoy with a C. Only me has two. Only me has two. Amoy with a C. Why now? Another one. This is a dark soy sauce. Amoy with an S. Amoy with an S. Only me. I have two S's and one C. And this one is even new. See, I've not even opened it. This one is even new. Let me check expiring date. Anyway, I go use them like that. Hello, boys and girls. You're welcome to another show. Welcome to another day of Vlogmas. My day is Precious SK. I live in Lagos, Nigeria, and welcome to another day of Vlogmas. If this is your first time watching, drop a comment. Say hi in the comment section, subscribe to our channel, like this video, and do all of the good stuff. Today's video is going to be very interesting. I want you to grab your popcorn, find a glass of wine, because we're about to have a chit chat, very interesting interaction conversation about books and reading. If this is your vibe, keep watching. If this is not, keep watching. First of all, let me share how I got into reading in 2023. A lot of you might already know my age. I'm 31. I'll be 32 in 3 months or less. And I have struggled with reading for the longest time. I struggled a lot with reading in 2023. Let's not say in 2023. I've been struggling with reading for the longest time, right? And I don't just know, like, I've always wanted to read. I've admired people who would read books, who are able to read book from start to finish, like recount like 23 books in 1 year. How? Like, I remember one time, it was earlier this year. Yeah, it was earlier this year that I was asking my friend who to really know how she was able to cultivate a reading habit, because I love that she would always share like the books she has read for the month. And your gal, me, I don't have any memory of reading so many books in a year. At most, the years that I do best is that I finish 1 book throughout that year. Like, come on, I can't do better than that. I'm above 30. Come on, what's my excuse? I don't have kids yet. Like, and when you start reading books, you understand the germs that are inside. I'm not saying germs, the gems that are inside books, like the life nuggets you will learn, the life lessons you will learn, a lot of things you will learn from reading books. And that's what I can't believe that I've missed most part of my life. So when I used to be very young, I used to read a lot of books, mostly those romance, erotic kind of novels. the magazines. I used to spend my time with a lot of magazines, newspapers. That has always been my vibe. But I don't think I really cultivated a reading proper culture. I was mostly just interested in like the entertainment part of it, the lifestyle part of content of any kind of thing. The books was mostly, story time to just pass by time, right? Despite the fact that my dad had like a whole room dedicated to like books, we had like a whole library inside my house. But I think maybe that's even where my reading thing began to bank or begin to fall apart, was the fact that a lot of the books we had then were mostly, I don't have anything against Christian books, mind you, right? I don't have anything against Christian books, but a lot of the books that we had then was Christian, apostolic, kinikon books. They were not really books that I wanted to, that were inspirational for me in the business world or in social interaction, if I get it right. I read some of them. So that I can grow in God and Christ. But in terms of like business, social interaction ish, we didn't really have a lot of books when I was growing. And that too did not also have novels. So we didn't really cultivate the habit of reading per se. Yeah. I didn't really just really get into reading. And so through school till I got married and age, the most I will read every year is sometimes one, two books. So when Chandler died in this year, 2023, I got very invested in reading books, It got me invested in reading books because Chandler was one character I fell in love with in Friends. It was one character I totally fell in love with in Friends. Friends have a special bond to my family, to me and my husband. So we watch Friends like maybe twice every year or once every year. We're always watching Friends. And so personally, I developed a very close connection with the characters. I don't really know them as a person per se, but just as the characters made them look very real life to me. So when the news of Chandler passing came, it brought me some sort of, first of all, I realized that I was actually human. And it was like the reality of the fact that there is Chandler's on screen Chandler and there is Matthew Perry outside came forefront to my eyes. And I wanted to get some form of, I wanted to know this Chandler. I wanted to know him for real beyond just what was on the screen. I wanted to know him after he passed. I heard I had written a book. I had heard it before he passed, to be very honest, but I didn't pay attention to it. But after he passed, I was like, okay, I was going to find this book, and I found this book, and I'll put a picture of it on the screen. I found the book and I wanted to read it. Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. And that book was it gave birth to my love for reading. Like, it gave birth to the love for reading. It felt like the book removed scales of my eyes, right? I started to actually see reading as a thing I wanted to add into my everyday routine, my everyday life. Like, a day would now pass where I will not read and I will feel like my day is not complete, like I've not done something today. The book brought me a lot of closure into his life, into the life of celebrities, how they live. We sometimes expect them to be superficial human beings because they are celebrities. Oh, they have to appear a certain kind of way, they have to dress a certain kind of way, they have to be at 100% in public. Quite alright, but they are humans too. They make mistakes, they suffer addiction, they suffer different kind of things, right? And that was what that book gave me insight to. Aside from him being Chandler on the screen, I also got to read a lot of challenges he had while even shooting Friends. He was struggling big with addiction, right? And it gave me insight into why in some episodes he was looking slimmer than normal, in some episodes he was wearing glasses, in some episodes, and yada yada yada. So it also taught me about friendship, about how he really suffered a lot in life in terms of social interaction and keeping up with relationships and stuff. And I really loved that book. When it finished, I felt like, what is I going to do with my life right now? But that was not the end of it. After Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry Chandler, I read Ikigai. Ikigai, the Japanese way to a long and healthy life. Yes. Ikigai, oh my God, I'll put a picture here. Ikigai is one book I feel like I'm going to read every year, or at least once every 2 years, back to back. Like, Ikigai is one book that I really love. I'm an empathetic person. I'm an emotional person. I'm a very I'm big on the little things that bring joy. I'm big on, emotional, affectionate things. I don't know if that's the best way to describe my personality, right? And that book brought me closer to that thing that I wanted to find, or I wanted to learn about. Um, it gave me so many insights into how Japanese they live their lives so that they can stay healthy, they can be happy, they can build community, they can sustain friendship, they can sustain life in general. And oh my God, I really, really, really love it so much. I really love it so much. And in fact, it has heightened my desire to visit Tokyo, to visit Japan, and just stay there for maybe like a year or so. Go to Ottawa, go to all of these, some of these states within Japan that were mentioned as some of the states where the people live the longest. I mean, Japan has the highest number of people that live above 100. Bro, I want that. It also taught me about friendship, about the need to move around a lot more. Don't just stay in one place. Very often, when you're staying in one place for a long time, stand up and move. After I started reading that book, sometimes when I'm reading, I'll carry the book, and I'll be sitting down for a long time reading the book, especially on days that I'm alone. I'll carry the book and start moving around the house. I'll start stretching my legs and start moving and holding the book and moving around the house, because I'd be like, okay, this is the way that I want to be healthy. I became more very intentional about playing tennis, because I'm actually working towards losing some weight. I became very more intentional about playing tennis on days when I feel like, when I don't feel like, when I wake up in the morning, when I don't wake up in the morning, when there is no other girl on the court, I'm going to show up. I try as much as possible to show up for tennis. Um, what else? I started going out, as opposed to sending my security man to help me buy things a lot more from the market when I cannot come downstairs. I started trying as much as possible to come downstairs, to just walk around. Let the sun beat me a little. Vitamin C, a bit vitamin D, anything that you get from the sun. I wanted to touch my skin. And yeah, I started also being intentional about, creating much more bond with my friendships around me. And I really, really, really love that book. After that book, there's Wasabi. Wasabi is the next book I'm going to read, hopefully. And I'm definitely going to read it. I'll probably start it at the beginning of the year, because but I'm going before the end of Q1, I'm going to read Wasabi. The third book of 2023 that I've read too as well is Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits, oh my God. To be very honest, guys, I've been reading very, really interesting books, and I wish that somebody told me I was going to find joy in reading as much as I'm doing right now. I wish I knew that a long time ago. Reading time is like my personal time. Reading time is like a time where it's me and I, and the writer of the book. Reading time is a time where I am learning new words, how sentences are constructed. Just going, it's like living inside another person's brain for a long time, for as long as you want, rent free and moving around. That's what reading is like to me. I really love Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits has opened my eyes to habits, right? The need to cultivate good habits. I know of habits, I know what they mean, I know what it stands, I know what it is, but I have never really been conscious about it, conscious about building habits intentionally. I didn't even really think habits was something that you will build per se, that you can build intentionally. I just felt like habit is just something that happens and then it becomes a part of you and stuff like that. But Atomic Habits are something that you can actually build your own habits by yourself, healthy, good habits, right? It has also taught me how any decision you want to make, instead of just throwing it into the wind to say that you want to make it, for example, I want to lose weight or I want to play a lot of tennis, like it will teach you how you can make that into a habit, into your lifestyle, like intentional things you can do, how you can incorporate new habits into the midst of old habits, so it's easier to keep up. For example, maybe your morning routine is you wake up in the morning, you go brush your teeth, have a bath, go to make yourself a cup of coffee and stuff. But now when you want to incorporate a new habit into that routine, let's say you wake up in the morning, before you go to brush your teeth, you spend like 30 minutes in bed to read a book, and then you continue. So when you start doing that intentionally, before you know, you've already added one thing into your already existing habits, and that way you're able to sustain it. Yeah, so that's what Atomic Habits is teaching me, lots of that. And I really love that. Because it's also it's making me more intentional about the decisions and the things I do every day, the activities I do every day. I'm more conscious about them. I know that I don't want this to be I don't want this particular thing to be a part of my life, I'm not intentionally making sure to stop them or to not do them. It's bringing my consciousness to every single part of my day, every single part of the big decisions I make, and all of that. Atomic Habits. I've heard a lot of good reviews about the book, and every time I would always think about the fact that I wanted to read. I would know that I always tell myself that I know I want to read Atomic Habits, and I'm very, very, very glad that I finally conquered that goal in 2023. So those are like the top 3 books I've read in 2023. And what has been helping me a lot with hitting my reading goals is tricks on my phone. Anyway, how I'm able to sustain my reading habit. First of all, I use the Books app on my phone. I use an iPhone 13, and then I use the Books app on my phone. I think a lot of iPhone, or almost all the iPhone, they have books. So I use Books app on my phone, and then I download most of my books are e-copies that I find online. I use it on my phone, and then the on-screen widget, the home screen widget. So I brought out the widget of that particular app, the books, to my front screen. So every day I see my books. Every day I cannot skip it. Every day I must see the book I'm reading. I will see the amount of time I have to spend reading that book, and I will see the number of streaks I have. So my book reading for the day used to be 5 minutes per day. And I realized that I started reading more than that. I increased it to 10 minutes per day, and now it's at 15 minutes per day. Yay me, like that is growth. Seeing this streak every day helps me remember to read as well, because I don't want to break my streak. And that way I'm able to learn, I'm able to create time during my day to just incorporate 15 minutes, 20 minutes into my day to read. Sometimes I do 1 hour reading, I do 30 minutes reading, because I just get lost in the book. And that's something I think you can incorporate if you want to cultivate a lifestyle of reading in 2024. Get an app that will always remind you, put it on your home screen, and then begin to read. If that will not work for you, you can set alarm clocks to remind you, to wake you up to go and read every day that you are supposed to read your book. That way you're able to cultivate a habit of reading. Also, get books that you enjoy. Start with books that you enjoy, and then you can now begin to get to other kind of books. If you're not the kind of person that likes non-fiction, start with fictional books. Just start with a book that you enjoy. Next year, I'm hoping to maybe read 10 books in that year by the special grace of God. If at the 3rd quarter of this year I'm able to do 3, why can't I do 10? I'm also hoping to increase my reading time from 15 minutes per day to like 30 minutes per day. So that's like my big goal for next year. But for now, I'm taking it slow. I'm putting like small goals to conquer for myself, so I don't overdo it and I get overwhelmed. I find books that I find very interesting. I find books that just make me very happy. And in fact, I said it like, I'm the reason why I'm even starting Vlogmas, and I've been consistent with it, and I decided to do it this year is because of Atomic Habits. But that's how much impact book has had on me. So yeah, that's it, guys. Tell me what books you have read this year in the comment section. Tell me your top 2 books that you have read this year in the comment section, so I can also pick them up and go to read as well. No matter the kind of books, even if it's biology textbook and physics that you read this year, drop it in the comment section. Tell me your favorite books of the year. Also recommend books for me. Tell me which books you feel like would be very helpful for my work as well. Another book I didn't mention. Ta-da! Yes, this is Still Like an Artist. This is also another book that I have not completed yet, but was gifted to me. If you watched my Vlogmas day 9, I can't remember now, I explained how I got the book. But yeah, I've not read the book as well, but I know the book is the few parts I've read. Like the few parts I've read is like reading my life back to me. As a creative, it is a 10/10 for a creative person. So for apps as well that I think can help you be better with your reading. So if you're not the kind of person, if you're the kind of person who's struggling to read long books, there are apps that can read out summarized books for you. I think for 15 minutes, we'll just read a summary of an entire book for you, so you can just get like the overall picture. And so with that, you can read 365 books a year, because every morning that you wake up for 15 minutes, you're actually just reading a book from start to or listening to a book from start to finish. You can either read or listen. So you can listen to it while you're doing something. That's what my partner does. He reads, he has like a larger catalog of books that he has read for this year, and most of them has been with those apps. Like he's an audio guy person. Me, I'm not an audio person. Let me not even lie. I tried being an audio girl person for books, but I like to focus on what I am doing. So if I can't be reading a book and I'm doing an activity, my mind will not be focused. I will not hear what the person is reading out. I will still go and find the hard copy so that I can read it again. So if you're the kind of person that you are not like really a hardcover guy, boy, you are not the long reading kind of person, you should adopt those kind of podcasts, those kind of reading, audiobook reading apps like Blinkist, like Headway. You can listen to tons of books there. They will just read it out, summarized version of tons of books that you want to read on Headway and LinkedIn. They are subscribed for. You have to subscribe to them, but I don't think it's very expensive. A subscription to these books are not very expensive, so that's something you can do as well to get into the reading culture or in 2024. Trust me guys, there is a lot of things you can learn from reading. I can't overemphasize it. I can't say it any more than this. There's nothing sugarcoating I can add to this to tell you that there is a lot you can learn from reading. There is a lot you can learn from just living in the mind of somebody for as long as that book exists, right? There's a lot you can learn from reading. There's life-changing opportunity awaiting you when you read more. There is entrance into another world when you read some more. Just like movies are to me, right? When I watch a movie, when I read a book, it takes me from my reality to another world. So I will begin to, it's as if going to Japan. When I was reading Ikigai, it felt like I was walking with the artist hand in hand to Japan to read and learn about Japanese culture. And that's the way it is for a lot of books. It's like taking the hand of the artist and you're walking through a land filled with wisdom and knowledge and yada yada yada. That's what books will do for you. So anyway, that's it for me. If you have any more questions, drop it in the comment section. Drop in the comment section if you have any recommendations for books, for apps that you think can help, or any more recommendations that you think has helped you develop a reading culture in 2024. You can let me know as well in the comment section. But welcome to Reading Precious. Welcome to my reading era. I'm thinking that on this channel, on YouTube, at least once every month or once every 2 weeks, we're going to review books. So any book that I've read, I'll probably just talk about the book during the video, talk about the book so you guys can go and find it and read as well. If that's something that you're interested in, let me know in the comment section. If you have watched till this part, I don't know why you haven't subscribed yet. Subscribe to see this pretty face more often and hear my pretty voice more often. Subscribe, drop a comment, give this video a thumbs up so more readers can join our community and we can grow. Thank you so much for watching.